that feeling, right? The one where life feels like it's just happening to you and you're just trying to keep your head above water.
Yeah, like you're stuck or spinning your wheels.
Exactly. And it's easy to think, well, maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe I'm broken somehow.
But the material we're diving into today suggests something, well, simpler and maybe more powerful.
Right. What if your life right now isn't just happening to you? What if it's more of a direct reflection of your daily habits? You know, how you consistently do things, think, show up.
And the flip side, the really empowering part, is that you don't get a better life just by waiting for things to change. You get it by actively building better habits.
That core idea, that link between our daily actions and our current reality, that's really central to the source we have for this deep dive.
It is. We've got some audiobook excerpts here, and they lay out this really compelling case for how positive habits can literally rewire your mindset. They suggest you can unlock pretty significant change.
And not like way off in the future, right? But starting today, just by shifting what you do every day.
Exactly. And these aren't described as some kind of complex, unattainable goals. They're presented as a set of, 10 simple, clear, real-life practices.
So our mission today is to really unpack these 10 habits. We want to get into why these specific practices are highlighted, pull out the key insights from this material.
Yeah, and help you see how applying even just one could maybe start to shift things, help you think a bit sharper, feel better, focus stronger, move forward.
The source doesn't really pull any punches, though. It suggests that while one habit is good, committing to all 10, that could change pretty much everything.
Okay, so let's get into it. The source jumps right in, right at the start of the day, which feels right.
Yeah, the first habit is all about starting with intention. It's titled, Wake Up with Purpose and Stop Wasting Time.
Right, and this one really sets the stage. It highlights what the source sees as a huge drain on potential for so many people.
Which isn't lack of talent.
No, not usually. They argue it's more about how people start the day, just reacting. There's no clear direction, no urgency, no strong reason driving them, and the day just kind of slips out of their hands.
Slips out of your hands. Yeah, that paints a picture. And the source is pretty direct about the cost of that drifting, isn't it?
Oh yeah. It hits you with this stark truth. Your time is your life. That's all life is, time. The implication is heavy. Wasting time isn't just inefficient, it's literally wasting your life.
Yeah, thinking about looking back and seeing days just gone, spent reacting, that's definitely a motivator.
It should be. And it reframes all that busyness we often mistake for being productive, right?
Totally. The source makes a really sharp distinction between just being busy and being intentional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Busy is often just, frantically reacting to whatever pops up. But waking with intention, knowing why you're here today, what you want to build, that gives you clarity right away.
And that clarity is where the power comes from.
According to the source, yes. It gives you energy, sharpens your focus, makes it easier to say no to stuff that doesn't matter. Your actions feel stronger, more direct.
They contrast that with how most people live. Stuck in the same routines, same thoughts, same excuses, and then wondering why things aren't changing.
Right. Waking with purpose is about breaking that cycle, taking charge instead of letting the day push you around. Successful people, the source suggests, don't drift. They decide how their day begins.
And that decision provides the fire, as they put it. You feel that drive when you know what you're chasing.
Yeah, and it shifts the focus from needing motivation, which comes and goes, to having a clear reason. And crucially, they say you often have to act first, then the feeling comes. Don't wait to feel purposeful.
You create the feeling by doing the thing.
Exactly. So the action step they suggest is simple, but requires that upfront decision. Before anything else, ask yourself, what am I building today?
Not just what's on my to-do list.
No, deeper than that. What's the purpose of your effort today? Into building confidence, strength, your future.
That question anchors you. And the source is clear. Purpose isn't just a feeling you wait for. It's a decision, backed by discipline.
Right. Living without that intention, they argue, leads to feeling stuck, tired, losing your drive. It's the natural outcome of not starting with intention.
That metaphor they use about time and money that really drives it home.
It does. Would you just give away your last dollar for nothing? Then why give away your last hour, your actual life, to things that don't grow you? Invest it.
Invest it in growth habits, thoughts, actions. Especially those first hours, that builds momentum.
And momentum leads to progress. Progress builds confidence. And confidence helps rewire that mindset. It all starts the moment you stop wasting time.
And the practical tip, don't grab the phone immediately.
Right. Sit still, breathe.
Yeah.
Ask what matters to me today. What am I building? Write it down. Start from strength, not reaction.
Discipline comes in here too. You won't always feel like doing it.
Of course not. But discipline is doing what's right for your goals, even when it's uncomfortable. Consistency in these small acts builds the habit, and habits shape who you are.
Success, then, is consistency around the right habits.
Pretty much. Waking with reason, taking time seriously, self-respect through discipline, it's work, yeah. But that's how you stop wasting time and start building your life. Getting this first one right, they suggest, makes the others easier.
Which leads us straight into habit number 2, building right on that foundation. Plan your day before the world distracts you.
Makes sense. You've woken up with purpose, you have that intention, but now what?
Right, because the moment you step into the day, everything starts pulling at you, yeah. Emails, notifications, people, your own thoughts.
Exactly. The world is designed to grab your attention. And the source warns, if you haven't already decided where your energy is going, the world will decide for you. It'll take your day.
And so many people live like that, just reacting, following everyone else's agenda.
And the result is predictable, right? The important stuff, the things related to your purpose, gets pushed aside. Goals stay goals. Stress piles up. Mind feels cluttered. You end the day wiped out, wondering where the time went.
You just can't live like that and expect to change things or rewire your mindset according to this source.
No way.
Yeah.
Planning sets the tone. It keeps you centered. It ensures you do the right things, not just stay busy. Busy isn't productive.
And this requires silence first, that mental clarity.
Yeah. Before the noise starts, taking those few minutes to consciously decide what matters for the hours ahead.
So the actionable steps are pretty simple, like 5-10 minutes, notebook.
Yeah, maybe write down your top 3 goals or priorities for today. Decide what moves the needle, maybe schedule some deep work time. Create that space for focus. Stop leaving it to chance.
Planning gives you control, removes the guesswork. You've already decided what's next.
Right. The source puts it starkly. Planners build their day. People who wing it usually waste it.
And it helps with anxiety too, getting it out of your head and onto paper.
Big time. Your mind gets overwhelmed holding everything. Writing it down frees up mental space. Direction cuts down on overthinking. Structure brings peace.
Doesn't need to be complicated, just intention. Asking that question, what must get done today to move me closer to the life I want?
That question sets your standard for the day. It automatically filters out a ton of distractions. Without that clarity, you waste hours reacting, scrolling, checking, energy gone.
Planning means you start the day knowing where your energy belongs. That leads to progress you can feel. Ends the day with pride, not regret.
And it builds discipline. Teaches you to value your time, respect the hours. You rely on the structure, not just waiting for motivation.
You don't need to feel like doing it. You already scheduled it. I like that. The schedule becomes your commitment.
Exactly. You can't grow if your days are just chaos. You need space to think, time to execute. That starts with a plan. Where does your energy go? What are you avoiding? Cut the distractions. It makes you sharp.
And planning helps build other habits too, because of the clarity.
Yeah, habits need clarity. You're more likely to follow through if you know when and how. Scheduling makes it real. You rely on that structure, especially when life gets messy.
And life always gets messy, so the plan holds you steady, helps you get results even if you don't feel like it.
And the warning is real. If you don't control your time, someone else will. You need that ownership. Your goals, your mental health, your energy, they all depend on how you spend your time.
Planning is the foundation for a sharper mindset, for confidence, seeing yourself as someone in charge.
That consistency builds a new identity. Shift how you use time, you shift how you live. Results change. It touches everything: work, health, relationship, how you feel.
So wake up with purpose, then take 5-10 minutes to plan before the world gets you. Sit, write, choose your focus, step into the day with strength.
Stop surviving, start building. That's the message.
Okay, that powerful start, purpose, and planning leads us to habit 3, which shifts inwards. Talk to yourself like someone you respect.
Yes, this one hits home for a lot of people, I think. We all have that inner chatter, right?
Yeah.
But the problem the source points out is how often that voice is just harsh.
Impatient, critical, judging, comparing.
All of it. We listen to it constantly, but we never let anyone else talk to us that way.
And the insight here for rewiring your mindset is huge. You have to change that internal language. You just can't build confidence by tearing yourself down.
You can't grow stronger feeding yourself doubt. The way you talk to yourself shapes how you see yourself, and that controls what you expect from life.
The action starts with just noticing, asking that question. Would I say this to a friend I admire?
Right. And if the answer is no, the source says that habit needs to stop. It holds you back, keeps you small, becomes your identity if you let it.
And respecting yourself isn't about ego, is it?
No, not at all. It's about giving yourself the same basic kindness, patience, encouragement you'd give others. Acknowledge mistakes. Yeah, everyone makes them. but recognize you're still here, still trying. That counts.
And when you start doing that, things shift. Your posture, decisions.
Yeah, you start believing you can change. You stop settling. You choose what builds you up. It starts with that inner voice.
Because that negative talk spirals so easily, small mistake becomes, I always mess up. Missed goal becomes, I never follow through.
And that kills progress. Turns setbacks into these heavy, shame-filled identities.
So it's about honesty and fairness. Admit wrongs without calling yourself a failure. Wanting to improve without thinking you're fundamentally broken.
And remembering your mind listens to everything, even the jokes about being lazy or not smart. Repeat it enough, it becomes belief, then behavior. So replacing negative with strength-building language is critical.
The strategy is active intervention, catching those thoughts.
Yeah, catch them. Don't let them loop. Replace I'm not good at this with I'm learning, I'll get better. Replace I can't handle this with this is hard, but I've handled hard things. It's mental training.
Like talking to a kid learning something new. You encourage, you guide, try again, you're doing great.
Exactly. When did you last say that to yourself? Tearing down reinforces not enough. Lifting up reinforces growth is possible. That belief carries you through tough times.
It builds mental toughness too, that inner strength when things get hard.
Definitely. When the world doubts you or results are slow or fear kicks in, you need that steady inner voice. You can handle this. Keep going. It's a shield you build word by word.
And there's a clear difference between discipline and disrespect.
Big difference. Discipline is, I expect more because I know I'm capable. Disrespect is, I'm not good enough. One lifts, one crushes. You need discipline without the abuse.
So be the voice you wish you had. Remind yourself of progress. Celebrate effort.
Yes, that builds self-trust. Real confidence comes from that relationship with yourself. When you support yourself internally, you need less external validation. It's a quiet power.
You'll still slip up though. Negative thoughts will come back.
Of course, it's normal. The key is the response. Do you stay stuck or do you stop? Correct the thought, replace it. Every correction is a step forward. Every kind word helps. Old patterns lose their grip.
So check your tone. Notice the language. Build the habit of speaking with respect, like you want yourself to win.
You're with yourself 24/7. Make those words push you forward. Be real, but treat yourself with dignity. This shift rewires you, separates you from that self-doubting past.
Stop listening to the doubt. Build better, word by word. Talk respectfully. Become someone you respect. That's powerful.
It really is. And that inner work sets the stage for the next habit, translating it into action. Take action when your mind says delay again.
Okay, this feels like a crucial moment. The source calls it a turning point, right? That instant your mind whispers, wait, later, not now.
Exactly. They argue that in that moment, your future is being decided. Resistance, that feeling of wanting to delay, is the wall between who you are and who you could be. And most people, sadly, lose that battle. They believe the delay voice.
And it's sneaky. It doesn't always sound like fear. Sometimes it sounds like logic. I'm tired. Not the right time.
Sounds reasonable, protective even. But it's a habit of hesitation. And the more you practice it, the stronger it gets. You stop trusting yourself to follow through.
And you can't build or grow if you're always hesitating. So this habit acting, when the mind says delay, is the breakthrough.
It's about response, not motivation. In those first few seconds of the urge to pause, you step forward anyway. Not because you feel like it, but because you've decided to be the kind of person who follows through.
You have to be quicker than the excuse, because the mind starts negotiating, right? Bargaining its way out of discomfort.
It does. Just 5 more minutes. Start tomorrow. That window to act before the mind takes over is really short. Act, or the mind wins.
And here's the really powerful part, according to the source. Every time you act when you don't feel like it, even on small things.
You're building discipline. You're telling your brain you're in control, not your feelings or excuses. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need to start. That first movement creates momentum.
And momentum changes everything. The task feels less heavy. And think about all the unfinished things. It's usually delay, not lack of knowledge or time.
Delay steals more dreams than failure ever will. That's what they say. And the longer you delay, the heavier it feels. Simple tasks become burdens. It's not inability. It's the pattern of seeking comfort. Growth is on the other side of that action.
You won't feel ready. That's key. Breakthroughs happen despite the feeling. Mind wants safety, potential wants expansion. Choose movement.
Build that stronger self, someone you can count on. Even small, immediate actions matter. Waking with the alarm, answering that email, starting the workout. It's proof you follow through. Consistency changes your identity.
Self-respect increases too. Seeing yourself as someone who gets it done, living aligned with your goals, not giving in to delay.
And the strategy: don't argue with the hesitation, just act. One step, one movement. Break the pattern before it becomes a cycle.
You need less hesitation, not more time. Most people practice avoidance, practice execution instead.
And it brings peace of mind. Delay robs your peace. Unfinished tasks linger. Handling them frees your mind.
Delay keeps you in someday, but there's only now. Train yourself to act when hesitation appears. Take back control. Create the right feeling by doing the right thing.
Goals need execution, not just intention. Delay kills opportunity, energy, momentum. Act faster than your excuses. Move now. Think later if you have to. Start. Show up. That's the difference maker.
You have more control than you think, but it comes from action. Act your way to change, even if it's uncomfortable.
So the next time your mind says delay, see it as a test. Not a reason, a test of commitment. The only right answer: action. Not perfect action, just action. Start where you are.
Master this moment, you master progress. Do it often, the brain rewires, delay loses its grip. You live like someone who follows through. Wow.
Yeah, being quicker than the excuse. That's potent. Which leads right into number 5, connecting directly to taking action. Push yourself to finish what you start today.
Okay, so starting is one thing, but finishing, that's different. The source says anyone can begin, but finishing sets you apart, builds character.
Exactly. The real growth happens, they argue, not in the initial burst of excitement, but in the quiet, sometimes tough hours of sticking with it and seeing it through.
That's usually when the resistance pops up again, right?
Yeah.
Distractions, doubt, boredom, just feeling uncomfortable.
Absolutely. And the source says you have to actively train yourself to stay focused even then. When it's not exciting, when it's harder than you thought, build a discipline. If I started this today, I will finish it today.
And leaving things half done, that has a cost.
Right.
Mental clutter, pressure, chips away at confidence.
Big time. It wears on you, it lingers, steals focus, builds this quiet belief that you're someone who quits early. That belief becomes habit.
And how you do one thing is how you do everything. Cutting corners on small stuff leads to cutting corners on big stuff.
Right, so finishing matters, not just for the result, but for your internal integrity. Prove to yourself you can complete things even when you don't feel perfect. Your standards matter more than your mood.
Standards are like a personal contract. Breaking it hurts self-trust.
Yeah, and you won't always feel like finishing. Your mind will say, tired, done enough, no one's watching. That's when you push, because your standards matter.
Finishing builds a mental edge. Even small things carries over.
That's the idea. Finish the workout, feel stronger in a tough conversation. Complete the project, feel more confident for the next one. Cleaning creates clarity. Follow-through becomes your default.
There's power in doing what you said you'd do, especially when it's hard or unobserved. Becoming your own leader, internal discipline.
You don't need perfect systems, you need urgency. Look at today, ask what needs finishing and do it fully today. Don't half finish, become someone who completes.
Completion builds clarity too. Closes that mental loop, handled, frees up space. Incomplete things drain energy, finishing gives energy back.
And your identity changes. Finish more gear. See yourself as dependable, focused, someone who closes the gap between thought and action. Momentum builds.
So give yourself the gift of completion, commitment, not perfection.
Yeah. And it helps you use time better. Stop restarting yesterday's tasks. Finish today, move on tomorrow. Progress, not recycling effort. That's what people get ahead.
Every task is a chance to reinforce a standard. Finish it, raise the standard, stop early, lower it. Simple. Just finish, act, complete, move on.
It builds emotional strength. You build results, not just hope. Make more decisions today. Push when it's easier to pause. Focus when distracted. Close the chapter. Small wins stack up.
Break the loop of incompleteness.
Yeah.
That feeling of being done is better than stopping short. Growth comes from hard finishes.
Decide. If it gets your time today, it gets your full attention until completion. Do it now. Earn your respect. Stay clear-headed. Win quietly, consistently, completely.
Push because you're capable. The day matters. You've had enough of stopping halfway. The person you want to become is built today by what you finish.
Okay, intentional mornings, planning, self-talk, action, finishing. That brings us to habit 6, which is crucial for having the energy for all this. Say no to things that drain your energy.
This feels like a big one. Protecting your peace, your focus, regaining control over your energy.
It really is. The problem, as the source sees it, is we're constantly pulled everywhere. Energy gets drained by people, devices, bad habits, things that don't move us forward. Not because we're weak, necessarily, but because we're just not trained to say no effectively.
And energy isn't just sleep and food. It's boundaries, priorities.
Deeply connected. Saying yes to everything drains the energy you need for what actually matters. Spreads you thin. No room for focus, rest, care.
So every unnecessary yes is like a leak.
Exactly. A slow leak of your personal power, they call it. Enough leaks, you feel drained, unfocused, unmotivated. It's poor energy management.
Energy is finite. Where does it go? Complaining, scrolling, overthinking, or building something meaningful. You can't really do both.
Have to choose. And that often starts with saying no more often, simply out of self-respect.
Breakthroughs can come from removing drains, conversations, tasks, relationships.
Often, yes. It's not just what you do, it's what you allow. Many people's days are filled with things that wear them out without giving anything back.
Which is why no is such a powerful word.
It creates space, clears the path, reminds you and others your time and energy are valuable. You're not meant to be on autopilot, available to everything. Be selective. Know what feeds you versus what empties you. Act on it. Cut off what doesn't belong.
It's not selfish, it's strategy, survival.
That's how they frame it. Survival, strategy, growth. Many people are tired not from doing too much, but too much of what doesn't matter. Saying yes out of obligation, allowing interruptions, scattered mind, heavy body, goals buried. That pattern only ends with a clear no.
Why do we allow drains? Fear of upsetting people, seeming rude, thinking our needs don't matter.
All of the above, probably. But it costs you. You abandon yourself. Less of you left for what matters. Forget what you wanted.
Energy is life force. Fuels thoughts, actions, emotions. Giving it away to the wrong things means not enough for the right things. You drift from your potential because you're drained by stuff you never questioned.
The action step is an inventory. Pause. What takes gives nothing back. Makes you feel smaller. Pulls from priorities. Say no there.
Not shutting everyone out, just being intentional. Choosing where attention goes, what gets a response.
Every choice builds or wears down. Don't feel bad protecting your peace. People who respect your boundaries are the ones who belong.
And saying no builds focus. Cutting the excess creates space to concentrate.
Absolutely. Stop being reactive. Become proactive. Stop jumping between things. Finish what you start. Focus is a superpower created by cutting the excess noise.
Reframing no. No to distractions is yes to growth. No to draining people is yes to peace. No to pointless habits is yes to progress. It's commitment, not coldness.
Ask, what life do I want? What's in the way? If it doesn't align with purpose, values, priorities, it doesn't deserve your energy.
Listen to the feedback too, that feeling of heaviness, frustration.
Yeah, that's your body telling you something's draining. Listen, honor it. Don't silence it. Make a choice that protects your energy.
World offers things. Not everything deserves a yes. Decline some things, end some conversations, drop some habits. Now, not later. Waiting leads to resentment.
This shifts your mindset from overload to clarity, chaos to intention. Guard your energy like it's sacred. Start the day asking, what will protect my energy today? Leads to better choices.
Look at a request, habit, situation. Does this build me or drain me? If drain, say no. With confidence, peace, understanding. Protecting energy creates space for growth, focus, clarity. Changes everything.
Managing energy, building focus, that's huge. Which takes us nicely into habit 7. Learn one new thing that sharpens your thinking.
Okay, a daily commitment to learning, challenging your mind.
Yeah, the source argues this changes your life's course. Not just occasionally, but every day. One new idea, insight, concept that challenges how you think.
Because what you feed your mind is the foundation for choices, beliefs, results.
Exactly. The mind needs daily training, like the body. Ignore it, it gets lazy, dull, repeats old patterns, becomes reactive. Mental growth leads to being more aware, intentional, prepared.
See clearer, respond better, become sharper, stronger, more stable. Starts with one thing.
And one thing doesn't mean reading a whole book. Right?
No, consistency is key. Learn a principle about discipline, a time management technique, a habit truth, how successful people think, even engaging with uncomfortable ideas. That's where growth lives, they say.
And the cost of not doing this. Staying stuck.
Yeah, repeating mistakes, falling into the same traps, thinking the same thoughts, not progressing because your thinking is outdated. The world changes fast. Thinking has to grow too.
Sharp thinking gives you an edge. Better decisions, less emotional reaction, problem solving without panic.
Separating urgent from important, controlling focus. Real freedom from confusion and chaos.
And it's not accidental, it's built.
Built, sharpened, developed through daily useful learning. Be proactive, seek knowledge as a responsibility. Nobody hands you a better mindset. You build it with better info.
Sources are everywhere. Podcasts, articles, books, conversations, reflection.
Method doesn't matter as much as the discipline, the commitment, the willingness to think deeper. That separates growers from the stuck.
So every day is a chance to upgrade your mind. Choose it. Today, I will feed my mind something that strengthens it.
Repeated action equals transformation. Doesn't feel dramatic day to day, but over time you think differently. More patient, strategic, less shaken, matured mentally.
And it builds confidence. Understand more, doubt less.
Stop guessing, start knowing. Carry yourself with more certainty, not having all answers, but growing wisdom. Wisdom gives courage to act, speak, lead, face problems. Self-assurance comes from preparing your mind.
Most people stop learning after school, though. That's a mistake.
Huge mistake, according to the source. Life demands more. Don't stay a student. Life teaches through pain, failure. Avoid that by learning now, before the crisis. Smart people learn ahead. Life rewards readiness. Mentally ready, focused, steady, strong.
Doesn't crumble under pressure, trained mind. Doesn't get lost in drama, perspective. Doesn't fall apart when wrong, studied response. Strength built one lesson at a time.
Not about being the smartest, but hungry, curious, humble, strong enough to find answers.
Be the person who grows daily, sees situations as learning chances, asks questions, seeks truth, stays mentally ready. Life doesn't wait.
Learning sharpens awareness, too. See connections, predict problems, adapt faster.
Awareness is an advantage. Keeps you alert, intentional, present stronger because your mind is clear, sharp, focused.
Requires the habit. One new thing daily. Consistency matters. Strengthens thinking.
Mindset is your greatest tool. Treat it that way. Train it, protect it, feed it well. No more mental autopilot. Want a better life, need better thinking. Daily, consistent, intentional. Moves you from who you are to who you could be. Grow strong inside out. One lesson makes you think. One insight makes you better. Start, you won't want to go back. More growth, clearer life. More knowledge, more confidence. Sharper thinking, stronger living.
That connection between mental sharpness and physical state. Habit 8 feels very connected. Move around to stop your mood from sinking.
Yeah, this one's presented as simple, maybe overlooked, but really powerful for pulling out of those mental or emotional lows.
The problem being, mood drops, energy slows, thinking gets cloudy, everything feels heavy. Overthink, doubt, lose momentum, mind turns against you.
And just staying still makes it worse, right?
Uh-huh.
Inactivity deepens the low, makes it harder to break free.
But the solution isn't just waiting or thinking your way out.
No, movement is the direct solution offered here. It shifts your state without waiting for motivation. You don't need to feel good to start, you just need to get up. Physical motion signals a reset to the brain. Something new is happening, you're not stuck.
And it doesn't have to be a huge workout.
Not at all. Standing, stretching, a quick walk, changing posture, a few squats. The key is acting before the low mood completely takes over.
They talk about how low moods build. Inactivity, isolation, negative thoughts.
Yeah, staying still lets those feelings grow. Lets you overanalyze, replay negative stories. Movement interrupts that loop. Disrupts the pattern pulling you down.
Benefits are physical and mental. Clears space, opens perspective, gets blood flowing.
Breathing deeper, attention shifts out of your head into the present moment.
And the common trap is waiting. I'll move when I feel better.
Exactly. But the truth, the source says, is the reverse. You feel better because you moved. Don't wait for energy, create it. Don't wait for clarity, move into it. You realize you're not as stuck as you felt. Problems might still be there, but your strength to face them increases.
That body-mind link is so crucial. Slumped posture affects the mind.
Deeply connected. Open up, stand tall, move purposefully, breathe deeper, the mind follows. You influence your mindset physically. It's not just fitness, it's emotional control, protecting your energy.
So it should be a daily habit, not just a reaction. Use movement throughout the day.
Yeah, keep the mindset strong. Walk when stuck. Stretch when thoughts are loud. Physical action when spiraling. Train your body as a signal for reset.
Requires awareness and intention, though. Catching the dip.
Yes, if the mood dips, don't just sit there. Get up, move, breathe, take control. Personal responsibility, handle bad days better. Movement gives you an edge, a way out when thoughts trap you.
And small movements build momentum again. Few steps lead to a walk. Stretch leads to flow.
Exactly. Focus returns, clarity sharpens, goals feel closer, back in the driver's seat because you moved.
Still won't always want to do it. Discipline again.
Do it anyway. Movement is discipline, self-care, resilience. Respond with motion, not just emotion. Stop being controlled by feelings. Develop a grounded mindset.
And it's always available, no matter where you are. Just a choice.
Energy off, mood dips, mind racing. Move. Not a cure-all, but a trigger for change. A start to a better moment.
Redirecting energy, not fighting feelings. Releasing stress.
Exactly. Gives emotions an outlet, mind a break, brings you back to the present. Make better decisions from there. Regroup.
So the habit is, move when you don't feel good. Move when stuck. Move when your mind says no.
It's saying, I still have control. Saves you from sinking. Builds mental toughness, awareness, emotional regulation. A tool for life's pressures. More you use it, more natural it becomes. An anchor, a reset button.
Days you don't want to move or when you need it most. Define spiral versus stabilize. Don't wait. Shift state with action. Use your body to change your mind. Strongest people know how to lift themselves out.
Moving into a better state that connects well to the next habit, which is about seeing those shifts. Look back at today and ask what improved.
The daily reflection habit. Simple question, transformative power.
That's the idea. End of day check-in. Not about being busy, but about making progress. Activity isn't the same as getting better. Without reflection, you don't know if you're moving forward or just spinning wheels.
And improved isn't always big wins, right? Small shifts count, better decisions, more patience.
Exactly. Handling a conversation better, getting back on track after a slip. If you don't look for these, you miss them.
And missing them leads to discouragement, feeling stuck even if you're not.
Yeah. You think nothing's working, effort is wasted, because you're not recognizing the small improvements that are happening.
The focus isn't judgment or what went wrong.
No, it's consciously directing attention to what was right, what was better, what moved in the right direction, even slightly. More patience. Follow through on something avoided. Chose discipline. Kept attitude in check.
These small moments build character. Noticing them builds belief in your own growth.
And that belief is powerful. Keeps you going when progress feels slow. Fuels you when results are delayed. Reminds you every day, every effort has value, but you won't see it unless you ask, what improved today?
True success is self-mastery, managing time, energy, attitude, choices, improved through reflection.
That's the argument. The gain is awareness. Stop drifting, repeating mistakes, letting days pass without meaning. Take ownership. That builds momentum.
Contrasts with living on autopilot, hoping things get better but not tracking or learning.
Right. That keeps you stuck. Daily purposeful reflection means you study your own progress, become your own coach, see patterns, spot gaps, build better habits based on your own life.
How to start? Just 5 minutes at the end of the day. Quietly.
Yeah. Ask, what did I improve today? Think it, write it, speak it. Where were you strong? Hesitated but acted. Better than yesterday.
Growth becomes visible, becomes addictive. Want to improve more? Progress, not perfection.
Even 1% better or one better moment means you won the day in a way that matters.
Teaches honesty with yourself. See the truth without guilt.
Yeah, see where time went, what you avoided if you gave your best. Creates growth, not shame. Know what to adjust, where to aim tomorrow.
Helps appreciate slow change, too. Most powerful changes are often incremental.
Daily actions, steady effort, quiet improvements. Reflection matters because without it, you lose track, forget how far you've come, miss the lessons. Reflection carries lessons forward. Enter tomorrow, more prepared.
Awareness, not pressure. Awake, present, honest, committed, humble.
And make it personal. Your journey, your standard, your improvement, don't compare. Ask what you know is true. Feel proud if yes, adjust if not. Ready for tomorrow.
Benefits compound. Mind clearer, goals fresh, action sharper, time intentional.
Life of steady improvement. Not grand gestures, but daily awareness. Small wins, honest reflection. Grow without burnout, stay connected to purpose. Mindset stronger daily. No matter how the day went, ask what improved. Find progress, learn, let awareness guide you.
All these habits are building blocks. But the final one, number 10, it's like the mortar holding them together. Stick to good habits until they feel natural.
Exactly. This is how real, lasting transformation happens, according to the source. Consistency, sticking with the right actions long enough for them to become automatic.
But most people give up too soon. Try for a bit, feels hard, inconvenient, don't see results, stop.
That's the common trap. It's not that the habit didn't work. They expected it to feel easy too quickly.
The breakthrough comes after the repetition. You earn the results by sticking with it long enough for it to become part of your identity.
That's the core idea. The beginning is always the hardest. Mind and body resist. Feels uncomfortable. You second guess. That's the test.
Push through that early resistance. Keep going. The process gets easier, not because the task changes, but because you change. Mindset adapts, identity adjusts.
You stop needing to convince yourself. You just do it.
Power in daily repetition. Stop arguing, debating, overthinking. Wake up, act. Becomes your rhythm, your standard.
The start-stop cycle keeps people stuck. Motivation fades, distractions pull, old habits return. Let emotion override discipline. Hit pause. Every stop resets progress. Stay in the forced stage. Nothing sticks because you never stayed long enough.
Gotta push past that line. Go through the days when it's not rewarding, feels like work, no one sees, you don't see changes yet. That's where habits solidify.
You need quiet consistency, not drama. Small efforts compound. Stops feeling like effort, starts feeling like routine. Don't rely on motivation. The behavior becomes familiar. Automatic excellence.
Persistence, not perfection. You will slip. Difference is how fast you get back on track.
Succeeders don't wait for Monday. Pick it up next chance, no guilt. One missed day doesn't undo it. Quitting does.
Treat habits as identity, not a temporary challenge. Rewiring takes time. Weeks, months. Replacing old patterns, uncomfortable at first is normal, means you're breaking from the old self. Every follow-through proves you're becoming different. Doesn't need massive action, just consistency in small actions. Discipline daily adds up faster than bursts. Show up when hard, boring, rather do something else. That's how it sticks. How long does it take? No fixed answer.
Takes as long as it takes to feel natural for you. Keep going until you don't have to think about it. It's just something you do.
The shift is when it's automatic. Wake up, do the thing without resistance, delay, struggle. Habit has taken root.
Not a goal anymore, a way of life. Doesn't happen by luck. Happens because you endured the friction, showed up when excitement faded, applied quiet discipline.
Habits shape your future, the foundation under your results. You fall to the level of your systems built on habits.
Want growth, peace, strength. Need supporting habits. Identify the right ones. Repeat until second nature. Change becomes permanent because you endured long enough for it to become automatic.
Most people quit in the transition, that tension between new and not yet easy. Don't realize the hardest part is often right before it gets easier.
Exactly. So stick with it. Even when results aren't showing, no one claps, feels repetitive. Repetition builds the new, you focused, capable, consistent. One day, you won't think about it, you'll just live it, embody it.
The goal isn't forcing forever, it's living where the right thing feels normal.
Build routines that protect energy, build discipline, carry you forward. Finish what you started by sticking with it until it is who you are. Habits carry you when motivation is dry, hold you steady in chaos, remind you who you've become through practice. Stay with the process until the process becomes you. Habits stop feeling like effort, start feeling like identity. Life runs on a new system. Strength, consistency, growth, not waiting for change, living it.
So there we have it, 10 powerful habits extracted from this source material, not as magic fixes, but as these intentional, consistent actions that the source argues can, well, quite literally rewire your mindset, change your life.
Yeah, it's not about waiting for things to change out there or for some dramatic overnight thing. It's about recognizing the power, the compounding power of small, disciplined efforts, repeated until they feel natural.
Building purpose, planning, changing self-talk, choosing action, finishing, saying no, learning, moving, reflecting.
And sticking with it until it becomes your new automatic setting.
And the potential impact, huge, the source suggests. Even 1 or 2 habits done consistently can create real shifts. Committing to all 10 could change the whole trajectory.
So as we wrap up, here's a thought to leave you with, building right on that core message. If your current habits created your current reality, imagine the reality you could intentionally create by choosing just one of these powerful habits today and sticking with it.
What's the single smallest action you can take right now, maybe even in this moment, to start building that new life, one habit at a time?